Hi.
Welcome to Scripts and Giggles with Shoshana
And Marnie.
So
We were just talking about TikTok by Tell the Bees. I think he has a Substack as well.
yeah, he's kind of like an essayist, a video essayist
Yes.
that has like thoughts on culture.
Yeah.
and
they're often right on the money.
Yeah,
Quite
yeah.
enjoy him as a commentator.
Yeah.
We could add him to the list with Shantae Joseph as like cultural
Oh yeah,
commentators.
yeah.
Because he does reference her article in this. But he talked about The Materialist, which we talked about earlier in the year,
Yeah.
and All's Fair, which we're going to talk about in this episode, and linking them together into this like presentation of marriage as transactional and reduced to what you can get out of your partner and what you ought to get when things are all said and done.
Yeah.
And we're also going to be talking about the Danish deception.
Jesus Lord.
Because equally, what you can get out of your partner and what they can get out of you is a big part of that story. And I guess you can't talk about that without talking about Risatisa to some extent.
Yeah,
but,
we need to,
you know,
and Tinder Swindler.
And the Tinder Swindler and all of these stories about like presenting someone who is on paper perfect and you being so like laser focused tunnel vision because you've been taught by society that that's what you ought to have. And also, as he was talking, I thought about Pride and Prejudice and the idea of like, you know, Pride and Prejudice was kind of making fun of the transactional nature of marriage when it came out like 200 years ago.
That's true.
And here we are like still
very much
commenting on and satirizing and all presenting the transactional nature of marriage. And in The Materialist, it's the beginnings of a relationship. And in All's Fair, it's the end. And one of the things that struck me about All's Fair, because we can get into it now, in its discussion of divorce, every story is set up to be like, either I married this incredibly wealthy man, he turned out to be a sex pest, or I didn't want to have his baby.
And then he became a sex pest.
And then I, as a result, deserve everything he's ever earned. And I get that those are the rules in America, but it actually started to make me think about the rules of divorce and what like who and what is entitled to, like, is it always fair, actually?
I think it goes... The US one, I think, is very extreme. The whole, like, look, if you get married, especially in certain states, you have to split 50-50 everything. Which, if you want to see what a relationship looks like in marriage, marriage is technically like, I bring my half, you bring your half, or I bring my whole and we bring your whole and we become one. Therefore, when we split it in half. That being said, if one person's come into a marriage with a certain amount of wealth, assets, etc., and the other person has not, or within the course of the marriage, one person's, I keep on going back to monetary, but like income or assets. Or
that's what they're talking about. They're not talking about like splitting custody of children. They're not talking
it's all
about
money. It is money.
Yeah, it is solely focused on you are going to make bank.
So I think it's the whole idea of like, now we are married, whatever has been done in the marriage or before the marriage, we're now one. Do I think it's fair? No. That's why we have things like prenup. But in the same breath, I also think about two things. Like, I'll give like it's not really a faith angle, but I'm just thinking like the whole idea of like, you know, for sometimes it's viewed as like for a man to be successful or a man can become even more successful when he has a wife.
Yeah.
And so especially because the wife will be doing things like the traditional roles of like looking after the children while the man can go out and earn money for the family. So it's the whole idea of like the woman has to sacrifice so that the man can continue to excel from a financial standpoint. Therefore, if the thing breaks down, what does the wife get when the relationship ends? That was not a faith angle, but the point about the whole like, you know, a wife upgrading you, like Beyonce, let me upgrade you kind of song.
Yeah,
like that idea. We didn't talk about it.
Yeah, no, I was going to say we talked in I think the last episode
about let me upgrade.
no, not about specifically that song, but about the idea of like being married can move you up and down.
Oh, yes, we have.
Like a career ladder, even social ladders can get you into spaces that you might not have got into as a single person for both men and women.
Yeah, true.
And so you're right, there is that, which you can't quite put, I don't know how you put a monetary value on. Because we got married, you became friends with X, Y, and Z.
And therefore.
And now you get to, so I think I deserve bang.
This. Or because I supported you, morally supported you in the building of your business, and your business has become massive. Think about Jeff Bezos and his wife and Amazon. Like when Amazon started, it started in their garage, selling books or whatever they were trying to do. I can't remember her name. Is it Susan Bezos or whatever? The wife or ex-wife now. She supported him massively, and then Amazon became Amazon. So
and now he's dating a 19-year-old. I mean,
she makes herself look like she's 19, but she's no shades.
But that is like a tale as old as time. That like idea of like, you know, you're with this man, you give him your blood, sweat, and tears. When you get to middle age, suddenly he has this crisis. He's leaving you for a 19-year-old. You're out on your ear. Yeah. And I understand in those circumstances, yes, you're not going to leave me high and dry, right? But because, in my head, because there are things that will need to be taken care of. We have children.
Yeah, that's true.
I deserve to, why should I be homeless because you've decided to, you should cover my expenses to go and settle my life again. But in the first episode of All's Fair, the couple, the story of the week element of it is a woman who's been with her husband for years. She cheats on him.
Yeah.
He then says, I'm leaving you. And because I think they'd signed a prenup, she's leaving. They're getting a divorce. She wouldn't get a penny. So the lawyers are like, that's not right. Sorry? Anyway, that's not right. Everything he gifted you when you were married is yours.
Yeah.
So what you're going to do is pack a bag full of all of the jewelry he got, almost $40 million worth of jewelry. And you're good to go, basically.
And then I think he tried to, was he trying to barricade the door? No, she barricaded herself.
She was like, I'm not leaving because he was trying to get her out of the house. And they're like, a successful day for like, I was like, first of all, what law took place?
There was no law. You travelled halfway across the country to come and pick up a woman from her house.
And help her carry her small bags
of £40 million of jewelry
out of the house. And for us to then have a scene where she goes up to the husband and the husband's like, I don't understand. We were together for years. I never cheated on you. You cheated on me. Did you ever love me? And she was like, yeah, I did love you once, but not anymore. Bye. And she's like, oh. And I'm like, I don't understand who this is a flex for. And then I started to think about like the target audience for this and also the target demographic that it's presenting. And I think that's where the show for me really falls flat. I, as you guys know, get on my capitalist soapbox all the time. I'm not interested in the lives of the ultra rich because it's literally impossible for me to imagine being in a situation where I cheat on my husband and then I get 40 mil.
Mind you, the flip and reverse it. If he cheated, you would be saying,
would still get 40 mil.
He should get 40 mil. And we'd be like, rinse him dry.
Drag him.
Yeah.
And so I was like, what an interesting case to start off with, because I feel like you want us to root for this woman, but I'm not understanding why she deserves our respect. Like, she deserved the jewelry because it was apparently that's the law. You gifted it to me, it's mine. I don't have a problem with that. But this idea that we're supposed to be like, she did it, she sucked it to him. Why is she getting revenge? You cheated on your husband.
Yeah. But didn't she try and say, it's because, the other guy was like giving me attention?
So isn't that I'm not number one of being married? Bare people are going to give you attention. Yeah. So if someone gave you attention, you have to sleep with them, and then I have to accept it.
I'm not defending her, but that's what I remember from the show. But I think the perspective is the viewers will be women. They're expecting it to be women, especially if it's like look at the cast. The show is trying to thinly tie in female empowerment. This is about females sticking it to the man, literally. This is about women ruling and bossing. The girl boss era continues. That's what is given in terms of the messaging for the show.
Yes, but then it's constantly undercutting that a little bit as well, isn't it? Because it's like here's Kim Kardashian's character. We'll get into Kim Kardashian. Kim Kardashian's character, Allura.
Yeah.
The names on this show, crazy.
And she put that name out.
Niecy Nash's name was Emerald Green. They didn't even try. I said, oh, you guys... and that's...
Oh my gosh.
The thing is, if you suspend all of your common sense, this show is perfectly easy to watch.
I said, okay, that's what I've heard similar things like that. You need to remove your brain. Wasn't there another show like that last year that we felt we literally were like, switch off your brain, this show makes sense. Put logic, stupid.
Don't think about it. There is I'm jumping ahead a bit to like, I think this is now episodes like 4 or 5. Let me go back. Alara's character is married to a younger man.
Yeah.
He then says he's leaving her.
Yeah.
Turns out he's fucked her, I don't even know what, secretary, Taylor?
Taylor's
who is awful in this show, by the way. Like, I was like, does she know what show she's in?
Yeah.
Anyway, she's as bad, if not worse, than Kardashian.
Oh my God, I saw this, I had some sex scene or like,
horrible.
What? I there's no words.
Horrible.
There
and
is
then
no words.
Every scene that she's in afterwards is horrible. I'm so sorry. I don't know. She just, her face is giving up. Yeah. She seems like she is annoyed to be there.
Was the direction for that sex scene lick his...
The direction was make people as uncomfortable as possible.
Yeah, because that really, it worked.
Anyway, he's done that. Then they introduce this storyline, and this is what I mean about the show being like, supporting what you were saying about it being paper thin in terms of its feminism. They introduce a storyline that her ex-husband is now seeing a transgender ex-sex worker.
Okay.
As a point to be like, oh my God, how disrespectful of him to do that. Like, Alara is just, as if it wasn't bad enough that he cheated with a woman, a biological woman who you knew. It's now a transgender ex-sex worker. And I was like, this is really tacky and gross. Really tacky and gross. And then they use it, they try and use it in the court case. I'm like, they're like, oh, the NFL are not going to work with you if they find out that you've been with a transgender woman. Huh? And then it's Sarah Paulson's character who's like, it's 2025. Yeah. First of all, he's probably going to win an award for being so progressive, which is like her being facetious, but like low-key, yes. Yeah. But I thought like, okay, so we're saying empower some women, but not all of them, I guess. Yeah. Not transgender women. But they keep piling stuff. Oh, Tiana Taylor's character is pregnant. Oh. And all the Kim Kardashian characters ever wanted is to have a baby. And like all of these things actually undo this sense of like, it's almost on the money trying to talk about this thing of like, can women have it all? Yeah. But it's so uninterested actually in getting into the layers of that whenever it almost says that, it then goes, oh, but I bought a Gucci bag. And you're like, what is going on? Literally, it's like, oh, but we took £800 million from a man, so it's a good day.
So, you know, when one of the biggest critiques of Sex and the City, and as someone who has watched that series multiple times, one of the biggest critiques is that Sex and the City is about 4 women, but it's like written by 4 men or 4 gay men. That's the usually like it's talking about women as how men think women talk. And the way the show is a Ryan Murphy production.
Yeah, I don't think he has written it. Yeah, I don't think he wrote it though.
Yeah, but it still feels like it's been written by someone who doesn't know women.
I agree with you 100%.
Or what they believe women to be like, or what they believe women in this space to be like. And I think maybe if you do speak to some of the ultra rich, okay, there may be that level of materialism, but you don't think there is still a heart. They still suffer in some ways and but in a different way. They have the Gucci by the secret woman.
And I think that's exactly, you are exactly on the money. Yeah. I agree. I think either a bunch of gay men wrote this show. Yeah. I think also the show lacks the heart. Like, think about something like, Desperate Housewives. Yeah. Those were women of a certain financial caliber, or Big Little Lies, or any of these shows that have explored women who are quite wealthy, who actually, the focus and the main point of it is the heart. It's like, you have all of the trappings, but actually what we're getting into, the drama, works on the basis that like you're actually a person with feelings who want something that all people want. Yeah. This, again, paper thin interest, like introducing this idea that Kim Kardashian wants a baby. We're 3 episodes in. We've spent 3 episodes with this woman. She's as flat as a pancake. There's no dimensions to her apart from, I'm a boss bitch and I have nice clothes. That's all you've shown us. And so when you introduce this baby thing, you expect me to care about. she doesn't even care about the baby thing as much as you want me to care about it.
No.
You needed that stuff up top because that would give her depth. She could not give this character depth because she lacks it in herself. Yeah. Like, she's not an actress who can give depth to a character through eyes or the intonation and the way that she speaks. Like, it's actually crazy when you think about how stacked the rest of the class is. Because there's an episode where Glencoe is talking to her husband, and there's a scene just between the two of them, and I was like, this feels like a TV show. Like, this feels like a TV show. She feels like a person. He feels like a person. This feels like a conversation that two people would have. Yeah. Alongside the most stilted delivery from a Kim Kardashian who's trying to convince you that she's a big boss ass bitch. What is this show?
It doesn't make sense. I mean, I'll be honest, you can, even in scenes and in frames where Kim Kardashian is standing next to, I don't know, what's the woman's name? She's Australian.
Naomi
Watts.
Watts.
Yeah, Naomi Watts. Or she's standing next to Onish Nash. And these are seasoned actresses. Even in scenes where she just has to stand there, she still looks out of place. She looks like a fish out of water.
100%. She just, because as a person who's not an actor, I think she doesn't realise you're acting even when you're not saying lines. Yeah. So she just shuts
down and
then boots back up when it's time to...
And I'm looking, because unfortunately, Kim Kardashian is very famous. So I'm looking at her like, what is she doing? Because there's also this curiosity, like, why have you brought this woman onto the show?
Well, why have you brought this woman onto the show? We might have talked about it briefly in previous weeks, but one of the thoughts I had as I was watching this is like, Ryan Murphy is the white Tyler Perry. Yeah, I'm switching it now. Before it was, Tyler Perry is basically black, other way around.
No, it's...
Ryan Murphy is the white Tyler Perry, because there are scenes and moments in this show that has no business being in the show that you know he's put in there because he wanted it. In episode 5, Sarah Paulson showers Kim Kardashian's ex-husband for some reason because she is his lawyer. And she goes to his house and she's obviously kind of feeling a little bit horny. And the guy who plays him is so fit.
I know.
Distractingly. So when he walked in the first thing I said, why would you cast someone that hot? This is crazy. It's like mad.
Yeah, but then I saw the scene with him and Tiana, I was like, oh, no.
But also, and that's why I was like, okay, actually casting him was interesting because as soon as he walked in, I was like, there's no way she's keeping this man. And then that's not a comment on, obviously Kim Kardashian is a very attractive woman, but like, I saw him, I said, you would see that man in the club and be like, you know he's going to ruin your life.
Oh, yeah. Those
I feel sorry for him in real life. That's his real face. He looks like he's going to ruin your life. Yeah. And she said, I'm going to marry him. Yeah. And then we're supposed to feel for her that he's outside fucking and sucking. Have you seen him? Have you seen him?
No, he did not need to audition. He walked in and said, you're hired.
I would be surprised if Ryan Murphy wrote this whole show just to put him in.
I'm like, you are too hot. I saw you in the club in LA.
Yeah, and I said he's going to be a star.
Yeah, he's going to be a star. I will make him a star. And I'm going to give you some unnecessary sex scenes just so that we can see your body. It reminds me of the sex scene with Kelly Rowland and that black guy.
Yes, and the paint.
In Mea Culpa.
Exactly
if you know, you know.
It's exactly
that scene was not for our gays. It was purely for the gays of Mr. Tyler Perry.
It's for the gays of the gays. That's who it was for. I'm telling you, she's like, oh, your hair's so greasy. You need to wash it. And somehow we end up, this man has taken off all his clothes bar his boxers.
Yeah.
He's sitting in a chair. She's got a bucket and is essentially pouring water. I'm like,
no. I think...
What two human beings on this planet have ever engaged in a moment like this?
No, so that, when you said that...
And they're next to a pool, by the way. Yeah, so just think about that too.
It reminds me of that scene from, I think it's Skyfall, where the black woman, Black Bond,
Naomi Harris.
Naomi Harris is shaving Daniel Craig. And that is a hot scene. But
You put it in for the sake of putting it in.
You did, because it made absolutely no sense, but it was like, okay.
But this is why I think it also supports what you were saying about who has written this show.
Yeah.
Because there's something about it that did not feel... I feel like maybe it was the way it was shot, because it's so far away in the scene that like there isn't a this isn't sexy. And we're following Sarah Paulson's character, who's been a bitch all season.
Yeah.
I don't care if she gets laid. Like, that's not hot for me.
But also, I felt like she was kind of comic. Like, everything about it was quite comical.
So hammy.
Like, it really is. And
although she has some great insults. Like, the only time I laughed probably when I was watching this was when she was cussing them out. When she called Glenn Close old George Washington, or she said female George Washington. I was like, she ate that. She ate them up. And they keep letting her eat them up.
Yeah, of course. So I watched the Kardashians. I don't care. Like, do you know what? I prefer to watch the Kardashians than All Fair, let's be honest. But so because they were filming that season of the Kardashians while they were filming All Fair.
Yeah.
So they're showing us some of the behind the scenes of the show.
Yeah.
And, there's a scene, there's an episode where the main cast goes to visit Kris Jenner's house, and they go and watch Fatal Attraction, because that was the film Glenn Close was in, and Kim Kardashian had never watched it. So it was like a kind of a bonding moment between the actresses. And I kid you not, Sarah Paulson continuously looks at the camera and always speaks to them, going like, "This is crazy. Can you believe this?" And she steals the scenes, even when this is a reality show, and she stole that character. So when I see her on the show, she is
so charismatic.
Yeah, that's the thing. She really is. And I was like, bro, they should give her a reality show, because I feel like putting her and I know her wife is like
old as hell.
You shouldn't know but I was like, now knowing the wife, I'm like, how does this work? Hey, you've got charisma and then
uniqueness, nerve, and talent.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I don't know. But anyway, I was like, she is really good for a reality show. But then I see her on All's Fair, and like, she's so extra, but maybe it works for this because,
Yeah, I think that she signed up because they said you're going to get to play like a bitch. Just like, no. And I was going to say, I think the best episode of the season is the episode about her. One, because there's hardly any Kim Kardashian in it. And two, because she's a bloody good actress.
Yeah.
And so there are moments in that where there is real harm, and she's with her daughter, when you don't know this, but she's like, she self-harms, or she used to self-harm.
Oh.
And that's why she's always wearing gloves.
Oh, yeah.
Although a lot of the characters wear gloves, so I don't know if that's like...
I thought that was a fashion thing, yeah.
But she always wears gloves, and then her child basically is like, when you told me that you hurt yourself, I really... But, I was glad that you told me, because it meant that we were close, but now it's also put in my head this fear that you might do it again, and then what would I do if you weren't here? And, because her face is still moving, you can see all of that stuff playing on her face, and it's like, this is why you keep getting hired, because you are very good at what you do.
You act,
and therefore this episode has been the better episode. Still suffers from poorly written scripts, which the entire series suffers from. I really think Ryan Murphy hired a 4-year-old to write this, because it's just like, it's so... Everything's on the nose. That was the first thing I noticed about the first episode. Everything is shown and told.
That's,
everything.
Yeah.
There's nothing... They'll be like, DC Nash's job is to be a investigator, and they'll be like, what have you found? She's like, well, I told him. And then they'll cut to her in the car tailing him. And then he bought this, and then they'll cut to him. But it's like, why are you both telling us and showing it to us?
I think maybe it's the whole idea. Are they writing shows for what they think the audience now
are going to be on their phones?
Yeah, on their phones, and how we comprehend and consume media now. Like, we need quick shots, tell us the information quickly. We are a TikTok generation, and maybe like we have to be shown and told.
100%.
Yeah, maybe that's it. Maybe
I 100%
because there's so many shows where you have definitely given that feedback about quite a few shows where it's like, it doesn't work as well because there's no nuance. It's just show, tell, show, tell, show, tell. There's no what's it called underlying commentary. It's just, you're just told it. Yeah, Materialistic. That was it. Materialistic. You said that suffered with that as well.
Yeah, there's no space for you to interpret. Yeah. But they are going to tell you everything that you ought to know. And then I think this goes an extra mile. Like, not only is it going to tell you everything you need to know, it's banking on you looking at your phone.
Yeah.
So that's why they're telling you what's going on screen, because you're not looking at the screen. And did I look at my phone when I was watching it? Absolutely. Yeah, but I do that anyway. I do that in shows that don't do that.
Yeah, but this show was terrible.
It wasn't. It's not a feast for the eyes apart from if you like the outfits. Yeah. And I do like outfits. So it's like, some of them I was like, this is really cool. Some of them I was like, you are not going to convince me that any human who's ever had a job has worn this to work. Shut up.
It's given Selling Sunset series, the one before last. Chelsea.
It is Selling Sunset down.
Yeah, it's Christine's and Chelsea. That season, the Fendi belt
No, that outfit is iconic.
Exactly.
Now.
But then I was watching an interview with Chelsea, and she was like, "Oh, like how's things changed since Selling Sunset?" And she's like, "Oh, I've really changed now. Like I only wear like blacks, whites, muted. I just don't wear any of those like big flashy clothes anymore. I know. Like I don't wear heels. I have tons of platforms. I don't wear platforms."
Because she was such a black Barbie.
She was, and she really lived up to it.
Yeah.
But she didn't. Yeah. And then she's like, I don't do as much like cut creases on my eyes. I just try and keep it natural, even though like, girl.
The BBL.
The BBL. Because it's hard because she has put on weight, but not like in a...
Yeah, she looks good.
She looks really good, but like everything looks a bit... The proportions are all over.
Because the BBL was BBL.
And then this season, she was wearing a lot of clothes where I was like, is this Shein or this Fendi? But like...
It's giving very demure.
Yeah, but it wasn't giving me...
As in demure, very muted.
Yeah.
And an attempt at modesty.
Yeah. Yeah, it was getting close to that. And I was also like, but it wasn't working. But then it's also some of the clothes did look a little cheap. Which is not,
Well, she's divorced
yes,
now.
Yeah,
and
no. So,
did she go to the All's Fair law firm? But probably not.
No.
And that's why she didn't get 40 million in jewelry.
Yeah, because apparently in the reunion, she admitted that she didn't get child support. She didn't get much money from him because the other woman, what's her name? I can't remember. Blonde girl ruling the whole office. She was saying like, "Oh, Chelsea doesn't have to worry. How can Chelsea be telling me how to be a single mother when she's been rich with her husband? Her ex-husband is like a millionaire." And she was really criticizing her. I'll be honest. Selling Sunset was toxic.
Yeah,
like Chriselle's done. She's gone.
Yeah, and Chelsea's gone.
And I'm gone. I'm gone now.
As soon as I saw the scene at the dinner party, I said, I'm not going to watch this. Like, I have to protect my peace. I've been seeing too much of the way that black people are being maligned, especially on reality TV. I cannot live in that world permanently. Yeah. And it especially makes me sick watching it's especially triggering when it's a black woman in a room full of white women. Yeah. And you have Mary just dogging at her, even though honestly, what Chelsea in a position of power as well. Yeah. With your boss's ear, dark. Damn. No, it is. So, perfectly honest, like, I'm done. Messing with people's livelihoods, by the way. Selling the OC came out. I haven't watched it. I'm not going to be watching it. I mean, perfectly honest. Apparently, Jarvis is gone. Yeah, apparently they kicked all the black people off that show. Yeah. The only show that I will watch that's to do with selling houses is Only Manhattan. Only Manhattan is the best house selling. If they be selling the houses. They will in New York. And Sirhan is a really interesting character, and you've got a very diverse pool of agents. And it's coming out I think next month. I'll watch that, but I'm done with Selling because Selling had its heyday. The heyday was when we had Christine Christel. What's it? Maya, or whatever. The nice Maya. One. Yeah, some of the nice. You had the balance of the evil and the nice. And drama. That girlie with the £7 million house. Or the 70 million. And the 70 million, and to this day. Not so old. She was iconic. She was. So bad outfits every single time. Exactly. This is what this All's Fair is missing. You need one person who's just a bit off. Yeah, and it's like, okay, that makes sense. And that's her character, and that she has a bit of dimension. But the problem is, the first problem is the top of the bill. Having Kim Kardashian at the top of the bill where you have these seasoned actresses, is it insult? Crazy. Is it insult? No. Is it insult? And then also, let's be honest, the reason why Kim is on the bill and she has such prominence is because she's one of the exec producers with Kris Jenner. They fund a lot of the show because they can. Yeah, because Ryan, and also Ryan apparently wrote the show for her. Yeah, in hearing her speak about it, because she did an Actors on Actors about this last year. Yeah. And she mentioned that Ryan reached out to her, wanted to work with her. She was in a previous season of American Horror Story and was like, I want to write a show with you. Yeah, for you. There's a scene in The Kardashians about that. Yeah, basically built this show around her. Yeah. And that's why she was able to have an Actors on Actors with Chloe Sevigny, which I think is insane. It's insane. So and I think she thinks she's really slick with it. Yeah. None of us can see what she's trying to do. It's you have no business being here. No. You've bought your way into a situation where you can now sit across from actual seasoned actors, and then you think you're going to trick us into thinking you're one of them because you sat across from them in a conversation. Yeah. The show comes out. Oh dear. It's as if we had predicted what we already knew. They set you up. They did. This was a scheme that Kim set up to come to you with the bullshit. And the thing is, now
Thank God. I'm hoping we would not get seasons 2.
I hope we do.
Oh,
I hope the show runs and runs. I really do.
please, no.
I hope it runs.
I won't be watching it.
Because she posted, because before I even watched it, a friend of mine was like, "Are you watching this?
Yeah.
It's insane."
Yeah.
I've watched every episode.
Oh.
And I was like, but he likes Kim Kardashian.
Okay.
It's also, to me, feels like the kind of show that he would hate watch.
Yeah.
And then become like an expert in it, but be like, I hate watching it. But like, you watch it all the
Just
time.
Like That. And Just Like That has so many commentators.
Exactly.
But all just had to hate watch it. Yeah.
And
it was terrible.
Apparently she posted a bunch of reviews where people were saying like the showing shit, and then posted like the viewing numbers, and it was like incredibly high. The show is doing very well, but the show's doing very well off the back of that thing of like, it's Kim Kardashian, it's shit, and it's again super fucking easy to watch.
Yeah.
You don't need a single brain cell. You don't even need to have watched the previous episode.
No.
They're going to tell you everything that happened.
The previous
today.
one. It's also like a story of the episode, story of the week. But the thing is, when you say it's easy to watch, I found it hard to watch because I couldn't.
I was doing other things.
Yeah, I couldn't concentrate on it. Sometimes I fell asleep. Sometimes I was on my phone. I couldn't keep my eyes concentrated on the TV. Yeah. Every time I look up, I'm like, oh, okay. Or I'll see like some of the scenes. I'm like, what's going on? Like, what is this? And then also you'll see Kim Kardashian, her face doesn't move. Some big ass news is happening. Your husband is cheating on you, and you're going, A
woman jumped off the roof.
And you're like this, I said, like, what's the point? Why have her here?
But the problem is, in her defense, this is the only time I would defend her. The way the show is written, by the next scene, nobody cares.
Yeah.
A woman jumped off the roof of your workplace because you told her she would not be able to get out of the trouble that she was in. And she killed herself. And you guys went, oh my God.
Next.
Literally. Literally.
Yeah, I don't know.
If that happened to me, so very, very quick story, but one time I was in a writer's room, and we were the building that we were in was quite high, quite high up. So we could see like the roofs of other buildings. Yeah. And there was a guy on the roof of a building, like maybe like not too far from us, like who was pacing up and down.
Oh my God.
So like the first time someone noticed, like, oh, that guy's been on the roof for a while. So people weren't looking, and then they're like, what is he doing on the roof? Like, what do people do on roofs?
Is like roof or balcony? But roof.
Of
What are you doing?
So then we all start to panic, right?
Yeah.
We call the police.
Okay. Oh wow.
The police turn up, because we couldn't work out if he was stuck up there,
or just like,
because there wasn't. It didn't seem like organized in any way. It was sort of like up, then back, then up, then back, and we're like, what's going on? Turned out he was the beekeeper, and he was checking on the bee things, the hives on top of the thing. But we were all. It basically stopped the meeting because no one could continue work because they're like, if we look away,
and he jumps, mentally scarred.
If anything had happened to that man, we would have been in the next day.
Better safe than sorry.
No, 100%. I think we did the right thing in the end. But that was an instant where the guy didn't jump.
Yeah.
Someone has jumped off our building, who we met, by the way. We're just going to be like, so what's for dinner? Is crazy. And that is everything you need to know about the show. Nothing happens that you need to take seriously, because they don't take it seriously. Niecy Nash is drugged.
Oh my gosh.
She is roofied in an episode and tied up by some guy, and he takes pictures. But before you know that, you basically think she's been sexually assaulted. Yeah. And she's in work the next day. And then crashes out at work afterwards. But it's like, the way you have presented this story gives, hey, victims who like allow their lives to be stopped by the fact that they were victimized are like late. Yeah. Real boss bitches potentially maybe get raped and then continue
just
working.
Keep on going, keep on. Like, I don't know.
Oh, and if you think that is wacky, the wackier thing is the guy then dies. The show starts to introduce a thread where it's like, one of them must have killed him. I said it.
This is giving Scandal Series 4 onwards.
You know, where you're just like, what the hell?
Like, we are so lost in story. Let's just start. Basically, this is what happens when you don't have an editor.
Oh, and also she was attacked because Glenn Close's character had sued this guy's dad before. So he attacked Niecy Nash to get at Glenn Close.
Okay,
is exactly the answer. Yeah. If you had a friend and they were telling you that this had happened to him, you'd be like,
I mean, I feel like he was a nice segue to Danish deception.
Yeah. So I just want to say quickly,
let's wrap that more.
Yeah. The show is, to me, it feels like it's out at the wrong time, because I actually think socially we're all suffering. You know, capitalism is collapsing, house prices are collapsing, the economy is collapsing, inflation is rising, this, that, and the other. You presenting me with a show about 4 incredibly rich women helping other rich women continue to be rich does not fill me with anything of note, which is why if we weren't doing it for the pod, I wouldn't watch. And maybe now that we've talked about it on the pod, I won't continue watching.
Likewise.
I mean, I kind of do want to see how much wackier it's going to get. I don't think I'd watch a second season.
No.
But I do really want to hold space for the fact that some of the girlies in the show are working their asses off. Niecy Nash is fantastic in the show, actually. I think Sarah Paulson is great. I think Glenn Close is great. I think
basically everyone that's actual actresses are great.
They are working their asses off with a script that is garbage for a show that actually is quite rotten at its core. Because going back to the idea of divorce in general and this idea of transactional marriages, what this show sets up is if you marry a rich man, because a lot of these people are like, I met him, he was rich, and now we're getting divorced. I want his money.
But so basically, what was your intention in the marriage to begin with?
Exactly. And then they give them a sob story where it's like, oh, he made me go get plastic surgery. And then everyone goes, okay, so then you are entitled to all of his money. As if choices weren't made. I'm not the biggest hyper of men. I can't think of a word there. I'm not the biggest fan. But I do think the show is very maliciously maligning men to support a narrative of as women we go through and this is what I mean about the paper thin of feminism. Oh, as women we go through so much, and then you try and get divorced and your husband don't want to give you all of his money. Huh?
Because let's be honest, on the flip side, if it was the woman is earning and out earning their man, and she has to give him money, the way that we will be getting on the man.
That happens.
It happens. So Rachel,
that happens in the show.
Yeah. Rachel Lindsay, for instance, she was the first Black Bachelorette, and she married her pick. His name was Brian, and I really liked them as a couple. But they end up getting divorced about 4 years later. No prenup, mind you. She is a lawyer, so they got no prenup. So that was probably
crazy as a lawyer.
It's crazy with a lawyer, and they believe in love, etc., etc., etc. Throughout the course of the marriage, you realize she out-earned him. For obvious reasons, she was the Bachelorette, so she got a lot of opportunities from an influencer, personality-wise. She went into the sports presenting, doing podcasts, etc., etc. The man followed her to LA from Florida. From Florida. She also went to Florida at one point during the relationship so that he could set up his chiropractor practice. But then he decided to move to LA with her so that she can get more opportunities. Then they got divorced, and he said he wanted alimony and child support, alimony because they didn't have children. And so she had to pay him millions in spousal support. And now, of course, everyone's like, bruh, that was dumb. You should have had a prenup. But also, everyone's also getting at him, bruh, why are you asking this woman for spousal support? I don't know who support. I mean, okay, I support Rachel.
He might argue, listen, you got married, your profile was boosted. Yeah. Every opportunity you had from that point was because of me.
He could easily say that. And also, he was saying that, he didn't earn any money when he moved his practice to LA. So because he had to move it from where he was before, she is responsible. And
which also just removes, and this is what I mean, it removes from you any responsibility for your own actions. You made that choice. You didn't hold a gun to your head.
No.
So why do you then now deserve a financial, you made a choice.
Yeah. And I think that's what's the sad thing about divorce. It's not just a split of love or a dissolution of a marriage, dissolution of a relationship. But it becomes messy because it's like, well, actually, you owe me this, and that's my money, and all the gifts I gave you, that's mine. And it actually makes you really question, like, at the beginning of the relationship, when you were getting together and you were like so in love, and you're like, oh, what's yours is mine, what mine is yours, for richer or poorer. All the vows that were said at the beginning, now it's just a pile of contracts and money exchange, and it's divorce is an ugly thing. So it makes you also question, like, make sure you know what you're getting into.
Exactly.
But also, like, it's hard because I don't like the idea of prenups. I understand why people get it though. I don't know if I'll ever get one myself, but like, I understand why people get it. But in the same breath, it's like there's such a thin line between money, love, and status.
Yeah.
And that's and marriage is like the ticking time bomb. If you're in a wrong marriage, it's a ticking time bomb because it would explode. And if you're in the right marriage, actually, then you understand, like, we are one. But it's very hard to hear people have amicable divorces.
Although, because it also positions divorce as something you win or you lose as well, which is, it doesn't vibe with this idea that you were in a loving relationship ever.
True.
Like, if I loved you, I don't want you to lose as a result that we're not together anymore.
True.
I just don't want to be with you anymore.
Yeah.
But perhaps if you cheated on me, then we introduce this idea of divorce as a form of revenge. There's constant, in the show they talk about it constantly as vengeance and getting what you deserve and getting what you deserve. And it's like, there's one story about this woman where she's divorcing her husband, and he wants alimony and X, Y, and Z because she has done quite well and her business has taken off. And he's suing her because he wanted a baby and she never gave him one. I don't know how you can, again, put a monetary value on, I thought we were going to have a child and we didn't. Yeah. Then her argument is, I always told you I didn't want to have a kid. Why is this even something that we're going to have to sit through in court and discuss even?
Why was this not discussed in the dating stage?
It was, and they still got married. Yeah.
You see,
and no one is taking accountability for the fact that they still got married, despite the fact that I said I didn't want to have a kid. So for you to even sue me for the child that never had, then they reveal, but she had an abortion at one point. So she quite literally killed his child, and that's what he's suing for. And they talk about this stuff so casually and so, like, flippantly that it reduces all these incredibly emotional things to, like, flat 2D tit-for-tat things.
Well, I mean, that's just a proof of the bad writing.
100%. And I think it's also the proof of, like, you can't really do a divorce story in a way that's engaging in a week.
No.
You can't do a story of the week and expect me to care about either side of those things. You have to then write these incredibly heightened stories that don't really make any sense when you think about it for more than 2 seconds. Yeah. It's an opportunity for you to get cameos from some fantastic middle-aged actresses, because they're almost always middle-aged for some reason. Of course you have to be middle-aged. He wouldn't be filthy stinking rich if I was 22 and he was 25. That doesn't make any sense. But, like, that stuff makes the whole thing, the whole concept of divorce and therefore marriage feel so disingenuous and go back to this idea of transactional, which it has always been, but there is something very tacky about the way that we are exploring the transactional nature of marriage. Before it was like, will this man take care of me? Will he be able to take care of me financially? Will our children do well? All those things which are reasonable to have. Yeah. Now you're also thinking, and at the end of this,
what will I get out of this? Yeah. And it's crazy to think about it. And I don't know if they're trying to reflect what's happening in society, because I still believe the layman, the regular degular man, when they do get married, they're not hoping for the divorce or what they will get out of it. But if you're marrying someone that was rich, is that always at the back of your mind?
And that is the core
point
of this. Yeah. There's one character who's like, I was 22, met this guy, married. I knew who he was. I knew how rich he was. I married him, and then he trapped me in a loveless marriage. Trapped you in a loveless marriage. You made a decision at 22, and I get it. Okay, sometimes your frontal lobe is not developed, so sometimes you do make quite reckless decisions. But this idea that you have been put upon or abused because you made a choice to marry a man because he had money, none of them ever want to talk about it in the show as the reason why they're always like, oh, I met him and we fell in love. Oh, I met him when he was a rock star and I was obsessed with him as a fan. You met him and he was rich. And you married him
because he was rich.
And now you want to act brand new.
I think it's just one of those things. I think had you put this storyline or this like premise like that? What do you call like a one pager before you get it signed off, like a show signed off?
A one pager.
Oh yes, if you had a one pager with this premise,
synopsis, I guess.
Oh, yeah, that and you had that, it was written, and you put it in the right creator's hands. I think you could have got a really interesting show out of this. I think you really could have, like, something that still has the drama, but the depth and the, maybe a bit of the comedy and humor from time to time. But I think you would have been able to get something more than what we have now. Give it to Shonda Rhimes or something like that.
You know that this show in Shonda Rhimes' hands would be full of monologues.
Fam, bring Papa Pope on the show as well. Let him be one of the husbands.
Let him be one of the husbands.
By the time he finishes his monologue, we'll be giving him money. Yeah.
But I agree. In the right creator's hands, there is something really interesting to say about where we are at as a society. There is even something interesting in the premise of you running a divorce law firm and you are getting divorced. But the way that she is even engaging with her own divorce is like she has no fucking clue how to, like, she's acting so brand new. This is your business.
But again, the whole Kim Kardashian part I have to separate, because you brought her in as a name for celebrity as the hook. But look, I have an issue.
A woman who, by the way, has been through several divorces and actually could have imbued it with her own story to maybe make it ring true.
Yeah. Because even if she cannot act to save her life, she can still emote.
She can tell her own story.
Yeah. When Kanye decided to go nuts and she decided to divorce him after so long, the emotion that she put on Keeping Up the Kardashians, she divorced him. She divorced him, during Keeping Up the Kardashians. That emotion she had, you can't tell me that she can't bring that into the show. Because I remember thinking like, wow, this woman has suffered. The tears, the shame that she said when she was divorcing Chris Humphries, and she was like, 72 days, I can't believe it's been 72 days. She brought emotion.
When she dropped her diamond earrings in the sea, that one was bawling. And Courtney said, people are dying, Kim.
I mean, bring Courtney on. I think you'd have got a very similar performance.
Yeah, even worse. Let's be real. I will say, go back and watch the scene when the girls, and this is the other thing, they have these like little round tables where they'll talk about like girl stuff, and I'm like, this is what I mean. This is so fake. That's not how women talk. But there's one scene, I think it's in episode 3, perhaps, where they're talking about where Kim Kardashian's saying, as a treat to myself, since I'm getting divorced, I went to go get a facial, and then it did this, and then I tried this elbow thing, and then also I had a vaginal replenishment. Like, basically, it sounds like a bunch of like made up things,
which she probably has done.
She is the most animated. Like, that's the only time where it feels natural.
She's speaking from personal experience.
Yeah. There's like a little line where someone was like, "Oh, I bet there's blah blah." She's like, "If there is, I've had it." And it's like, that actually felt like a line read, actually. And maybe because she wasn't acting at that point, but she really could imagine herself as that person. And that's like rule number 1 of acting. Yes, you're playing someone else, but you have to put yourself into that person, because it's not a real person.
It's actually kind of crazy, because you're training to be a lawyer. You've gone through these divorces. You are a girl. You are a boss.
You are literally a girl boss.
You're a boss of a billion-pound company or $1 billion company with Skims. You could speak. There's so many places that you can speak from. But maybe it's because the whole idea of like, this is like a new job. It's like a new realm that this is completely unknown to her. She's an actress. I think they should have written something completely different from her.
Sure. I think that's what's adding to the confusion. Because you're right. We're like, you should be able to do this. This character's not that far away from who you are, and somehow you can see the cogs turning. Yeah. Why is it so complicated for you to essentially play yourself?
Because I've seen her do cameos, and she's not great, but at least it's believable.
She hosted fucking SNL.
Yeah, she was actually okay in SNL.
So there's literally no reason why. I wonder as well what direction they were giving her. True. Because if you're a director and you're seeing that, what made you go, great, cut?
Yeah, because I watched them as they were doing like the final, when they finished filming the show, the wrap, and they were all like cheering, like, "Woo, congrats, Kim, that was amazing." And I was like, especially because they're airing the show at the same time as us watching the show.
Yeah, and also bear in mind, they don't even film scenes in order.
No.
So that, whatever scene that was, it seems like maybe she finally figured it out,
like,
but we don't know
no,
that's where that's going to be.
It's true. I know, but yeah, it's a shame. And look, for me, I think I've seen enough from All's Fair, and
fair.
it's fair for me.
That is absolutely fair
for me to close this book. I'll continue watching the Kardashians because, you know, I do enjoy that, because that is great TV that I could put in the background and know that I'm not going to get much. Whereas this one, I really actually want to get something and I got absolutely nothing. And at least I know what I get with reality. This is supposed to be a scripted show.
Yeah. I'm gonna continue to watch, not for anything other than
comedy.
Yeah. For real. I just think, and I kind of feel bad for like the other actresses, and I feel like I owe them to see it to the end because they work.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, one of those shit times where you're doing a presentation in a group at uni, and it's like, one of you is done jack fucking shit, but does that mean the rest of us shouldn't
exactly
get the grade? No. We met up, we talked about the project.
It's really funny, like, the whole idea of, the point you mentioned, like, earlier, as to, we can see that Kim has really tried to maneuver her way into the acting space. She's now heading up this show. She did Actors on Actors. And that is interesting now. Okay, the show's come out and it's getting panned by everyone. And but also we can see her journey on the reality show in tandem. And it's something very interesting that happened this week. So I followed Dancing with the Stars in the US, even though they're strictly in the UK, but I don't watch it like that. Only one time I sat down and watched the results show, and they stretched that show out for like an hour. And to me, it was like, just tell us who's leaving.
No, they can't, because it has to be a whole episode.
It's just crazy.
Do you know they film it on the same day? I found that out literally last year.
Yeah. And I was like, what? They're like, but also it's so dragged out anyway.
Yeah.
So I was watching I followed Dancing with the Stars. Now on Dancing with the Stars, they had these two reality stars from Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. Tell me you watched.
No.
I find it quite entertaining. Series 3, you could have put it could have been the email, but I think, yeah. So anyway, the Dancing with the Stars has been running. They brought 2 of the stars from the show, which was like a bit contentious, but everyone was like, okay, interesting.
Yeah, like 2 from the same show. Crazy.
It is crazy. So the show's going on. One of them, who was kind of like positioned as the villain in series 1, and she kind of had a bit of a better arc in series 2. She has gone really far into the show.
Mm-hmm.
So they were getting close to the semi-finals. Now, as the semi-finals was running, Secret Lives of Mormon Wives series 3 dropped.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when you start to see what was happening behind the scenes, where the ladies found out, oh, there's a chance that one of them could be selected for Dancing with the Stars.
Right.
So then Whitney, who's the one that got really far in Dancing with the Stars, she was not filming with them at all. She was not engaged. Like, up to that point, she was like, I'm leaving the show. I don't have any interest. I want to be part of the wives in series 2. They kind of reluctantly allowed me back in. I just didn't think it was genuine. Then she got whiffed that Dancing with the Stars was coming up. And then she was like, okay, I'm going to start filming now. So she was like, okay, let's have a little coffee shop conversation. And everyone's like, why are you back? You left Mom Talk. Why do you want to come back to Mom Talk? Oh, because I heard it's Dancing. No, she was asking the confessional. Oh, I heard it's Dancing with the Stars is coming up. And everyone's like, is it because you just want to be on the show, that you want to be on Dancing with the Stars? And she was like, I mean, it was one of the possibilities, but, I'm not, Now, the series has come out literally the week after she got eliminated.
Yeah, of course, because now everyone's going to be like, it's disingenuous.
Yeah, everyone knows what your plan. Everyone knows your scheme.
Yeah.
And the thing is, now because I'm watching Kardashians and I watch this show, I know Kim's scheme, but I also know that from the reality side, Kim seems to be really nervous with the show. Like, oh, I'm not an actress. And she always keeps on saying, like, I'm so appreciative that all these actresses have, like, embraced me even though I'm not an actress. And you watch the show and you're like, yeah, you're right. You're not an actress, girl. You're not an actress at all. And maybe my thing is it because we're seeing this super ambitious woman obviously flop that we want to see her downfall? But actually, no, this is her scheme.
Yeah, I don't have anything against Kim Kardashian. Do I think that she has maybe ruined society potentially? Yeah. But do I have anything against her? No, I actually don't. I think what's really interesting to me about her is she has crafted her entire branding and career after a still image, right? And people love her because of this still image. And then when you see her moving, it's under a a team that she can control. Like Kim Kardashian is about her, you know?
Yeah.
So it's really interesting to take this still image, put it into like a moving picture somewhere else and for you to see the flaws in it.
Yeah, sure.
And I couldn't stop thinking like, oh, you can't do this. Not because it's... Not because of anything other than like, this is not what you spent 40 years trying to do.
No.
And I don't think there's anything wrong with it to try something new. And I think if I had the opportunity to basically buy my way into things that I wanted to do, I would do the same. But it's very obvious that that's what's happened.
Yeah.
And I don't resent that. But if I was a young actress watching this, this would make my blood boil. Even as a producer, I'm looking at this and I'm like, I'm not smug enough to think that like I would ever pitch something that would have been up against All's Fair.
Yeah.
But like, it's so telling of our industry that Ryan Murphy, because I'm writing a show, Kim Kardashian, and it's going to be shit. And for the channel to see it shit and put it out still.
Yeah, and the premieres they have for the show, like even from a marketing
press tours,
from a marketing standpoint, I was like, they have plugged this. They plugged it like it's a movie. They plugged it legit like a movie. No, I have not seen
any TV show with that much press apart from Stranger Things, which makes sense. It's the 5th season
and it's
of an absolutely massive show.
Exactly.
You haven't even come out yet.
Yeah.
There have been shows with even more stacked casts than this who haven't got even this much of noise and press about it. Which means you guys were probably sitting in the house going, this show is shit.
Yeah. So we need to create the buzz.
So that people will at least sit down and watch episode 1 and then watch the rest of it.
Because like, you're right, it could get a couple of extra seasons because like, and just like that continues for 3 seasons. Yeah. My God, I watched series 1 and I said, I can never go back to that world. Because like...
And maybe by the end of the season, the 3rd season, she will have figured it out. Kim Kardashian would have figured it out.
Yeah, but I don't...
Or they would have rewritten it so that they were putting her in a situation she could actually handle.
Yeah, or as time goes on, Sarah Paulson is the lead.
I mean, the show should just be an ensemble.
Yeah.
It feels like an ensemble.
I hate the fact that even in the press pictures, Kim Kardashian is up front and center and everyone's behind her. And I'm like, no.
She's not
a lead.
Interesting enough. It's crazy to think because obviously they've had this reality TV show program because they're an interesting family.
Yeah,
but she's not interesting enough.
What saved that show in the first few seasons is Courtney, Scott, and Chloe. And then as time went on, the younger kids. And then, Kim got married. And Scott carried that show for a lot. Scott and his antics carried the show.
Scott and his antics was what the family was focused on.
For a good chunk. So no wonder Courtney herself, though, is crashed out. Like, Courtney is odd. But, like, she should be. She's like, she always has an arm and R about the show. But she carried the show with Scott for a long time.
A really long time.
So, I don't know. To me, from an industry standpoint, it's disappointing to see content like this.
Yeah.
And the content that this is what is being celebrated.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, this is how the industry is now. Whatever gets paid the most, whatever brings the most money, wins.
Yeah. And I feel like just the dangerous thing that it puts out if you're a young writer is that you can write shit and it will get made. Sure. It won't because you're not Ryan Murphy. No. And then as a young actor, what's the point of even trying because they're going to hire someone off TikTok and make them the lead on a show.
Sure.
And you spending all this time working on your craft is a waste of time.
Yeah.
Really, isn't it?
The last thing I liked of Ryan Murphy is Glee. And that's saying something.
I read the first season of American Horror Story, the second season of American Horror Story, fantastic. Everything after that has been okay.
Yeah. Oh, so what was the other show that he did that was not bad? But
American Crime Story.
Yeah, American Crime Story. Yeah, sorry.
The People vs. OJ. Fantastic. I didn't watch the Monica Lewinsky one. Oh, I tried to, and then
what was that?
Sarah Paulson was in a fat suit, and I was like, I don't know. I get you like her a lot, but there are other people in the world.
Yeah, stop dragging Sarah Paulson in. Like, come on, Sarah.
Never watched.
I didn't like the monster stuff.
Yeah, I didn't watch the first one.
Oh,
I watched the second.
Yeah, I didn't finish the first one.
Didn't finish it, but I do think that was. I definitely think it was interesting, but like the People versus OJ.
Yeah, that
felt so much more sophisticated, and like it treated its victims a lot better than the later ones. Just felt kind of salacious. Like Monster just feels really salacious, and I think it's kind of interesting that he gave them the monster treatment and not the American Crime Story treatment.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is for some reason reminding me of the like GQ's class, like new class of new
new boys
and
thing.
Like Andrew Garfield.
Yeah, like they're not boys, they're men.
They're not new.
They're not new at all.
I don't know why that came into my head. Maybe it's because I was thinking about acting and this whole thing of like, we've got now such a small pool, and we keep circling that small wall, and there just isn't any space for like actual rising stars. Yeah. We're talking about Paul Mescal still. It's been like 15 years.
Yeah.
Actually, it's technically been 5. I was gonna say like
where Paul Mescal,
really long 5 years.
He's been in a lot of stuff.
For it only being 5 years since we met this guy, it's actually crazy when you think about it.
I think Paul Mescal is in that echelon of like he's kind of flipped into movie star status.
Yeah, I mean, he's only really done. He did
him, Austin Butler, in a similar kind of weird vibe.
He did Normal People and never did TV again.
True. So, I for me, if you ask me what New Blood is, I can't tell you the names. I probably can point some places.
Riz Ahmed was there.
For what? I love Riz Ahmed.
I love Riz Ahmed. New is crazy. The Night Off came out like 10 years ago. What's going on?
Someone asked me about what's one of the shows that I sticks in my mind. I was like, The Night Of. I know it sounds really like The Night Of is one of those shows. Is one of the first shows where I sat and binged into the early hours in the morning. I've not had that show for this year, I don't think.
Yeah, I'm really liking The Beast Within Me.
Wait, I've heard about it. Which one is
on Netflix?
Okay.
Claire Danes, Matthew Rhys. It's actually I think it's a pretty good show.
And all her fault.
I haven't seen that.
I've been hearing some good stuff about that. But yeah, I need a good show to watch. But I have each year I feel there's a show that I absolutely loathe and I fall asleep to and I can't watch. All's Fair's in that category. And then another show one show that I cannot stop watching.
Yeah, that you would recommend to people.
Exactly.
It's been a hard year for recommending stuff for sure.
It really has. There was a period I just stopped watching.
I can't think of anything I've watched this year that came out this year that I thought, oh my God, this is incredible. I've watched movies that I liked, but I don't even think they came out this year. Yeah. A lot of horror, actually. I think I've watched a lot of horror stuff that I'm like, this is actually a good year for horror.
Oh, wow.
The past, I would say the past 2-3 years have been great years for horror. Basically, ever since Get Out, there's been like a real resurgence in horror. And we've watched a lot of really great horror things. And horror seems to only be one of the only spaces where you can cast new actors, where you can push the envelope, where you can you don't have to be a famous writer to make stuff. So it's like that space is still exciting. But you're right, in terms of TV, I just feel like people are flying onto a piece of paper and then handing that in, and now we've got to watch it.
Yeah. Honestly, I need to have a look. I did say at the beginning of the year, I was like, oh, I should write all the shows I've watched. That's not happened. I don't do IMDb, which I also should do.
Yeah. I'm always telling people.
You are telling me to. You definitely recommend it, but. Yeah, hopefully between now and the end of the year there is going to be a couple of breakout shows. I haven't watched Stranger Things and it's not. It's not on my.
Well, yeah, we've got to talk about our top 10 shows at the end of the year. And I guess we're letting you guys know we don't know if we're going to get to 10.
We may not be scraping the barrel. There's a couple of shows that have really come as good improvements. What do they call it? Best improved.
Yeah.
The Bear for me.
Yeah, better than last year.
Better than last year. But apart from that. We need to do some investigations, but we've got a bit of time for that.
Yeah, Culinary Class Wars is coming back. I hope it's as good as the first season because I really like the first season. Physical Asia is out at the moment.
I know you like that kind of stuff. I want to actually watch Celebrity Traitors, but each time I say I want to watch Traitors, I've just never bothered to watch it.
I would say wait for a normal season. Celebrity Traitors lacks the...
there's so much buzz around it.
But it lacks the game because we, quote unquote, know these people. Yeah. Whereas on... a regular season of Traitors, you don't know.
Yeah, who's
every episode you're learning something. Whereas this was Alan Carr, and then episode 2 it's still Alan Carr, and because they're thinking about their careers. I'm not going to be my real ass self.
Yeah, of course.
I'll be effing and jeffing and cussing people out. No, I want to get hired after this. Anyway. In keeping with our spirit, though, talking about marriages and transactions and partners. So there's a girlie Onyeka.
I don't know how the Nigerian way of saying it. I should know.
You should find out because I was like, when she was saying it, she was saying Onyeka, and I was like, no, we're Brits. We're not going to say it like that.
I think it's Onyeka.
It is Onyeka.
Yeah, I think so.
It has to be. Yeah. We're the closest to pronouncing
your name properly.
Yeah, you're never going to be able to do it.
No, girl.
But she is telling a story right now on TikTok, or has told a story on TikTok about the man that she married. It is a Risa Tisa-esque revelation.
Yeah.
But weirdly, somehow, I want to say 2 episodes in, I thought something's off.
And the thing is, the reception has not really landed.
The girls are not sympathetic at all. And I wonder if it's because, right off the bat, Legion was doing overtime, working overtime to trick this woman. He was talking to brothers that didn't exist. He was talking to real estate agents that didn't exist. He was printing documents. He was doing this. Like, he was very, very focused
on tricking her.
But
also, he was very intentional about what he saw their life being. So he paid for quite a bit early on. He paid for it. He talked to her about the house he wanted them to have. You know, he very much was leading the relationship.
And recent mentions, hey, well, people of a certain age, I need to start thinking about my biological clock. This is what I want. He said, that's what I also want. So the tunnel vision, which we've talked about before, was there from the start. And she doesn't shy away from the fact that there's tunnel vision from the start. In comparison, and I'm never going to support a man in the story. And obviously she's very much traumatized by what happened to her. Like, her emotions are very strong still. And
it's very present.
Very
it's
real.
very,
it's like right here.
Yeah.
But that man did not trick her.
No. He tricked herself.
He didn't trick her.
No.
When you get to the end and you realise he's asked all her, everyone that she knows for money and they've given it to her, I'm like, that is obviously insane. What happened to her is insane. I'm not trying to say it's not. But he's not like this mastermind narcissist. He asked and you gave.
And actually, and at the times, you offered.
Oh, at the beginning, you was offering.
And it wasn't just that you were offering the money, but also you were offering, that you led the relationship. You gave him his number. You gave him your number. You were touching his thigh.
Yeah,
you were
she was
with him.
putting it on him.
You were doing the most. And
I'm not saying it's a bad thing.
No,
if you like someone, you want them.
Drop the handkerchief and let him pick it up and offer it to you. But you were like, no, I saw this really hot guy.
White, tall, blue eyes.
Oh yeah, she never forgot that. And she never forgot with a smile. She
looked like a Calvin Klein model.
I saw him. He wasn't ugly.
He's not ugly, but like... This is what I mean about what's going on in America. Do you have white people there?
No, but every single person from Denmark that was commenting was like, he's a mid, he's a fool where we are. We need to go to Denmark.
We've been to Denmark. That's crazy.
We have been to Copenhagen. Did we see anyone that way? Look, we need to go.
It wasn't really looking. I mean, you was fighting boys in the club. That's what you was doing in the club.
Yeah, but no, and they were young boys.
Yeah, they were young, but you was fighting them. So that tells you everything you need to know about our experience in Copenhagen.
But outside of the club, we were only in the club for one night. After the club, it was too cold, I'll be honest. It was freezing.
I was looking back at our photos the other day and I was like, we're wrapped up in every photo.
So we couldn't see anyone because our eyes were covered literally in wool, scarves, hats, hoods, all that stuff.
Pictures and we're like smiling through it. It's like, I remember being so cold. And I was wearing everything I owned.
Yeah, true. I was saying to someone like, look, I'm at this stage of my life. I only like to prioritize hot destinations.
Yes, I'm not trying to pay. I would go somewhere cold if it was like Iceland, like somewhere where it's like you go here once, you witness like a phenomenon like the Northern Lights. It's an experience.
But I'll still go to Iceland in the summer.
You're not going to see Northern Lights.
Yeah, but maybe I don't need to. Because I want to be cold. Mind you, the minute I step out of this house, I'm going to be experiencing 0 degrees. Way
that the weather temperature has dropped is crazy.
Because the thing is,
I was in here on Monday, shivering.
Yeah, because the problem is, we had a very warm November, and he has really.
They said Christmas is coming home.
Yeah.
I don't know why you were sitting here thinking, "Oh, this is quite balmy."
We were always expecting a white Christmas. You thought you were getting a white Christmas this year? It's coming.
Christmas is coming.
I was driving to work. In this period of me driving, I drove through sunshine, rain, sleet, and snow. I said I have experienced all 4 seasons in this 2-hour drive.
This country is crazy. And I don't know why we always forget it's like that. Like, it's never like a gentle, we're like, gently moving into winter.
No, it's
we'll all be like, I'm going to the car, wear my little outfit. Oh,
bam!
Get me out of here.
Get your jacket on.
Get me out
and
here.
And the worst thing is going to continue until like March next year. And this is the reason why I'm
waking up on days, it's grey. It's grey all day. The sun does not come out. And it's that 3 days in a row. And then it's nighttime at 12.
You're like, what? Okay, great. Fantastic. End of the day. I was wondering, I was like, I was feeling exhausted. I'm like, why am I feeling so tired? I'm feeling tired because legit, by the time it gets to 4 o'clock, to me, my brain is saying...
Get ready to sleep.
Yeah.
Get ready to sleep. That's why those final 3 hours when I was in the office was always so hard in the winter, because I was like, why am I still here? It's
dragging.
nighttime.
Yeah, I'm dragging myself to finish. Can I just not leave? But yeah, anyway...
How much about this? We're talking about Danish
men.
Yeah, I am always flabbergasted by the audacity that some people have to describe white men as gods. And then you see them and you're like, have you ever seen a handsome white man before? Like, have you actually? Because let me be fair. I spend a lot of time watching TV, right? Yeah. And films. And those men are out of this world attractive, right? So I can understand how it's different in real life. Yeah. In real life, you're not going to see that guy. No. You're going to see someone who's like an 8 and he's going to feel like a 10 because we never get 10s in real life. True. So maybe she saw this guy, she said he's a 7, he's an 8, but to her, he's a 10 because that's the hottest white man she's ever seen for real with her own 2 eyes. Yeah.
And just the fact, Onyeka was on The Bachelor, Colton Underwood's season.
But she said she just turned 30.
Yeah,
So how old was she on Colton Anderson?
She was young. But his season was like 5 years. No, maybe before the pandemic.
Yeah.
So she was relative, she was young.
She's just turned 30.
Yeah, she's young.
Going to Panama and her husband's dad dies.
Yeah.
Anyway, really quick summary.
Go on.
She goes on holiday to Croatia.
Yeah.
She sees this hot guy.
Yeah.
They see him later at a restaurant, they connect, whatever. Then they all go out to dinner on the last night. She's flirting with him hard. He's reciprocating the flirting. What's very clear, I think, even from the dinner, is that these girls are quite well off. These men are quite well off.
Yeah.
She and he keep talking because she was going on like a round trip. So she's off I think she'd gone to Barcelona at this point. They're still talking. He essentially is like, I would like to come and visit you. Oh, but no, actually, they go on holiday, I think, is their first day. But they're messaging each other all the time. They're arranging to go meet somewhere. They meet up on this trip. That day, she bursts into tears and tells him that she loves him.
Yeah.
Because he's just her dream man. He's tall, he's white, he's attractive, he is rich.
Yeah. Royalty.
But not just rich. He's royalty. In fact, he tells her to go look it up herself, which... She does some Googling and sees that a member of the royal family has the same last name as him. Remember, Denmark is not that big a country. Yeah, exactly. There are lots of people probably with the same surname. Anyway, sees that, she's like, wow, he's in line for the throne, whatever that means. And then she also learns that he's in well, no, she doesn't learn that here. When she says this to him at dinner, he goes, I want to say it back, but I want to choose my own special moment. I don't want to, sit on your special moment. So she gets up from dinner, feels really faint, slips, hits her head, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of the comments were like, did he roofie?
Yeah, I think...
Because it does seem like quite random all of a sudden to slip and fall, but she says she's clumsy. Anyway, she slips, she falls, she gets a concussion.
Yeah. This is a bit of a nod to Risa Teesa's story where she, unfortunately, she loses the baby.
She has a miscarriage.
Has a miscarriage.
Does she have like a few miscarriages? Or do I remember? Was it
I think she... And it's Legion's baby, wasn't it? Yeah, I think it was one.
Oh, yes, because he had moved in because of the baby. The baby sped up the process, basically.
Yeah, and she had miscarried. And that everyone was saying, that was God telling you to run. That concussion reminded me of that's sometimes you get the sign.
Yeah, which she does. I think she mentions it as well. She's like that. I apologize for not taking the sign, but she gets this concussion. She goes to hospital, and he tells her at the hospital that he loves her too.
Mm-hmm.
We skip over the fact that at some point he's asked her to be his girlfriend. We think she never mentions it. She just suddenly they're together.
Yeah.
They want to be together all the time. They're doing long distance. She writes to him to Dallas. When he's in Dallas, he meets her friends. They are talking. He says that he's been playing handball. They say isn't that Olympic sport? He says, yes, I've won the Olympic medal twice. And she goes sick and doesn't ask any more questions. Yeah. And in that moment, I was like, Okay. If my man, even if I met someone who was just my mate, said, oh yeah, I've won an Olympic medal.
Pictures.
Yeah. I would even if I felt shy to like push you on it because you were so humble about it, because that's what she said, wow, he's so humble. Okay. I would go home and probably look it up because I want to be able to, next time I see you, be like, how incredible that you won. And I watched you in the race. I've never seen you like that before because it's not like she met him playing handball.
No.
So wouldn't you be curious to see him play handball?
I would hope so.
She's not curious.
Yeah.
Then and then things start to also, this is another place where I started to be like, I'm confused.
Yeah.
They want to be together.
Mm-hmm.
They're talking and they're like, well, I would marry you tomorrow. And he's like, I would marry you tomorrow. And she's like, the way for you to come and live with me in Dallas is if we get married now.
So that you can get a green card. So you can start the process of you getting a green card, which will take like 17 months.
I'm super close to my family and my friends, but I'm not going to tell them I've done that. You and me are going to get married, and then you're going to come here, you're going to get your green card, and then we're going to get married for everybody else. For you, a Nigerian woman, an West African woman, you are showing all of us up.
You are.
For you to make the decision to go ahead and marry someone you've known
for just 3 months.
Months.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
And you couldn't just wait.
Yeah. And because you didn't want to see your family. You know you're Nigerian.
No, because she thought she was being smart.
Girl.
I honestly feel like she said, I gotta lock this man down.
Yeah. Like this, he's too good to be
good.
He's too good to be true.
I gotta lock him down.
And like, some other girl's gonna snap him. He's mine.
I gotta get him.
He's mine. And do you know what? I think, she must have been, she's now turned 30. When this was happening, she was like 28. Maybe she was getting the pre-30 jitters, like, oh my gosh, I need to get my life together. I think everyone kind of experiences it in the lead up to 25 and the lead up to 30.
And he's rich.
And he's like, oh, well, this sets me up. Mind you,
and he paid for a bunch of stuff at the beginning.
He did, yes.
When they would go on holiday, he'd pay.
Yeah.
When they would do stuff, he would pay. He was paying.
Yeah.
Every so often, he would call her and say, oh, I've had the worst day.
I have the worst day.
When she said that was so triggering because I'm like, I've been there.
Yeah.
Not with a man.
No.
But for someone to call you and be like, or for you to be like, hey, how are you? They're like, not good. And you know what's coming is.
Can I borrow some money? Because it first started off with like, I've got this investment.
The story never made no sense.
Yeah. I have this investment that I need to put money into.
But where my money's going to come from, I'm waiting for this other thing to come in.
Or I've got this apartment that I want to buy. But mind you, he has 3 or 4 other apartments anyway.
Mind you, you're royalty and you're rich.
And you're rich.
And you've got bare watches, apparently. You've got 15,000 Rolexes and Pateks.
We started with that. Then it became things like my dad's is in hospital. Then it became, what other thing? This investment that I'm doing, helping my friend's business.
My apartment building burnt down. I got to pay insurance on something.
When you're here, how many times do you need to hear the struggle for you to be like, huh?
The first time, I'm going to be honest, first time, when I've seen you splashing cash. And
you're like, but
I don't have 6K.
Okay, but you pay for our trip. And then my girl was like, okay, I don't need to disturb your family. Don't disturb your family.
Yeah.
If you need to help, I can pay for you. Because I paid for my student loans. I bought my house.
Yeah. I make good money. I've got savings.
She got savings. So she was good. She has now opened her wallet and said, oh yeah, come and take.
You did all of that work on your own to help a white man. My blood is boiling.
Yeah, honestly, it's just...
Your family invested in you so you could then grow and make something of yourself. And you reached into your pocket and handed a white man money. Hard money. Because he asked his dad for a loan and his dad said, no.
What?
He didn't ask you for a loan.
He didn't.
You said, that's my man and I need to lock him down.
Yeah.
I'll pay.
My man.
She said, I'm putting a deposit on a husband. That is what I'm doing. There's a 6K. You will now deliver on your promise of being my husband.
Someone said the money that you give to a man is the tuition fees you're paying for the lesson you're about to learn.
That's a good one.
It's actually really good.
Is a good one.
It is a good one. Because my girl, she paid for her tuition hard.
Craziness. She continues to lend this man money because, hardships keep coming, keep coming.
But mind you, alongside the hardships, there are trips. They go
constant
trips. They go to.
He's coming Dallas. He's going back. He'll go Paris.
Yeah.
They go Portugal. Do you know what was crazy? She was like, so yeah, he owes me 30k at this point. Then he says, let's go Portugal. I said, I'm hurting financially because I've given you quite a bit of money. She quit her job as well for some reason.
Yeah, she quit her job.
She's quit her job. He's like, oh, but we can go on your credit card. I'm sorry, we could go on your credit card. And she said, okay.
Yeah, my friend, you have been financially literate to save money, buy a house, earn very well.
Real estate business is alongside whatever you're doing. Regular work.
Yeah, because she does real estate. You are doing well, and you have seen, even in your world of wealth of real estate, you know about messing around with credit and what that can do to your future. And your man says, oh, let's use your credit cards. What about his credit cards?
What about his credit cards?
What about his money? What about his inheritance, the royalty?
This man's told you he's got 10 million sitting in a business account somewhere, but we need to use your credit cards. Then they get to Lisbon.
How is the bell not ringing?
But she goes, oh, Portugal is lovely. It's so beautiful. I found myself thinking, this is where I want to get married. And I was like, oh my God, I have always said that. What if I'm as much of a clown as Onyeka is? What if I'm actually... we are clown sisters. We're clown twins.
No, but for real.
I just have expensive taste.
You do, but yes. And also, Portugal is a beautiful destination. So there is that. But on the flip side, there is no way a man will ask you for money without you going, ring, 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 ring.
Apparently, because there was no bells going off.
Yeah, but for you, there will be bells. The bells will be ringing like it's Christmas, okay?
If my life was a reality TV program, the day that my man was sat across from me talking about, yeah, you know, I had a really tough time, like we just need 6K, I'll be like, is it?
Is it? So how are you going to find that?
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's wild. You'll never hear from me again.
I'm not giving any man, let alone a white one. Sorry if you're white and you're listening to this, you're not getting a penny from me.
Because if I was in a reality show, I would be like The Office. You know that there's always a side camera? I would be constantly staring at that side camera. That side camera, me and the side camera were talking. I see you, we see each other. You know that by the time this conversation ends, that's the end of the scene and then of the show.
I don't know if some people, like, we've talked about this before. In reality, you're not often coming into contact with a narcissist. You're not often coming into contact with pathological liars. So you probably give people a lot of the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
There is a person I know from my dance class, right?
Yeah.
Who, every time I talk to her, has done something that I'm like, can one person have done all these things? Buying things going off. And I'm not even lending her money, married to her, sleeping with her, none of that.
Yeah.
I see this person once a week. I've had maybe a handful of conversations with her. But from that handful, I said, something's not adding up. Something's not adding up. So if this person then came to me and said, I need 6K, I would say respectfully, sister, you need to start telling the truth.
True.
You need to start telling the truth to someone else who's not me, because I don't care.
I don't care.
I'm not reaching into my pocket.
I think we have experienced people asking us for money. Once you've had that experience a few times, you're able to decipher.
You need to be able to decipher.
You decipher.
Because you need to figure out if I'm going to get your money back.
And also, because my thing is, and I remember someone who asked me for money. I have not spoken to this person for years. I said, you scroll through your WhatsApp multiple times to get to my number. This is a scheme that's God set up.
This is a scheme.
I had to wish them all the best. I said, I'm very sorry for your hardship. I will be praying for you. But
the average person doesn't experience that much hardship.
No.
That's what I mean. Those are the things that should be going off. Like, put the money to one side, right?
Yeah.
You're interacting with someone whose story doesn't quite make sense. He's a Olympic athlete and a member of the royal family. But he has no money.
But he has tons of Rolexes.
Yeah.
So my thing, as I was watching it, I was like, when did this stuff happen? And she was like, oh, this was basically, she got married last year.
Yeah, this all happened between the space of 2022 and 2025.
In the space of 2022 and 2025, Tinder Swindler came out, Risa came out. And they blew up.
But I'm special. That could happen to me.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's a crazy thing. Because to me, and Dare John, is it Dirty John or Dare John? Dirty John came out. Like, all these shows about scamming has come into the forefront. There's even more shows way before
so
them.
many. Like, if you guys haven't watched The Puppet Master on Netflix,
I need to watch that.
please watch that. That is crazy.
Yeah. So, like, all this stuff, all these shows come out, and there's nothing that for you to click, because, perfectly honest,
what's not clicking, Stephen?
There's nothing is clicking. So, for me, I was shocked, because when she I should say in 2024, I was like, these are just like around the corner. This is literally last year.
But I'm special.
Yeah. And I think
I'm special, and the difference is my man is hot and he's white.
And then, like, a Legion was black.
And black people,
we won't use that.
Black people,
we won't say that either.
But my white,
we won't say that.
He would never,
no,
because he's white.
Yeah.
And he's Danish. And let's also get into the fact that American people don't think Europe is real, I think. They think it's like a fairy tale land and that people can't be evil. Do you guys understand how colonialism worked or not?
What makes you think some of his ancestors came to take people?
Your neighbours. They collected your neighbours from your village.
Honestly.
And you're sitting here and blink, blink, blink. He's like, okay.
And do you know what's scary? Like, as she was telling the story, this girl was smiling cheek to cheek.
Oh, she loved that man.
The way that we did.
She's not over
him. Because I've seen it, that when you talk about a story about someone that you are fond of, but they've done you dirty, but the time hasn't passed, and you haven't processed it properly, you'll be smiling at it, like, oh, what a good memory. My man. Mind you, we know you called the story the Danish deception, so we know you're going to get deceived.
She loved that man. She said, I don't care.
My man.
She, I think in her head, is still trying to work through the man that she fell in love with and the real man that she married. Yeah. And those two things are not one person yet. Like, Risa Tisa was in a place where she was like, no, I can see how even from the beginning he was the person that he was at the end. I still think she's just like, because even the way she, like, I thought, one of the notes I took was, this girl thinks she's in a rom-com.
Sure.
She thinks she's in a rom-com. She doesn't realise that she's in a thriller. And because she thinks she's in a rom-com, every single weird thing that keeps coming up,
the signs,
it's just sort of like a wacky scene in a rom-com. Like, of course, you've seen the scene in a rom-com where someone accidentally walks into glass and then they're like, oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. Like, is he going to think I'm dumb? She had a seizure. And the first thought she had is, oh my God, he's going to think I'm such a dummy.
Because I'm sitting here in my blood and my urine.
In my blood and my urine. Sorry, if I was blacking out and coming to on the floor, my first thoughts were going to be like, I wonder if he still thinks I'm hot. Get me to a hospital now.
God.
She said she still has side effects from that concussion to this day. But your first thought when you woke up from the concussion was, I hope he still thinks I'm hot and sexy.
That's crazy.
Because she's in a rom-com. In a rom-com where there's no lasting effects and it is that she just slipped over. It would be a funny story that you tell at the wedding. You don't even realise that, you're in a thriller. And I feel like American people, their attitude to Europe, this idea that everybody's going to go on holiday and have this holiday romance, the stories that you have consumed in your life are now taking precedence over reality.
Yeah.
This man was calling her on a near daily, weekly basis, telling her some bullshit about why he could not pay her back, why he needed more money. She said, that's my man, I'm a ride.
Unbeknownst to her, he's there asking everyone in her circle.
He's moved to Dallas now.
Yeah.
Yeah. The green card has been signed off.
Yeah.
She and him go to spend Christmas in Denmark. They're at a friend's party. The friend's like, I'm just so glad he's over his gambling addiction. She said, What do you go and get him? Even go and get him. Even when she said go and collect her, I was like, oh, this is about to be some bullshit.
Yeah.
Out he comes. She said, do you have a fucking gambling problem? He's like, 10 years ago, I had a gambling problem. She goes crazy. She goes nuts. Despite the going crazy, going nuts. This woman, 2 videos later, is talking about, I was hoping he would propose to me when we went to Brazil. Are you dumb? And that's the part I cannot get my head around. He didn't tell you he had a gambling problem. You found out. That is a massive thing to lie about. On top of that, the money he's taken from you is for the fucking gambling. And he says that to you in the moment.
Quote unquote for the gambling. By that point, he's probably taken $30,000, $40,000 from you.
From you. Which he is gone.
You must have money for you to be spending 40,000 which is almost like almost £40,000 willy-nilly.
Gone.
Willy-nilly.
That money is gone.
Yeah.
You then, after this gambling problem thing comes out, learn that he has taken 200k from someone that you know.
No.
At that point, you still say,
Marry
I
me.
hope he proposes to me. You're already married as well.
Married, yeah. She's like, oh, the biggest deception is I married him. I'm like, but
you are already married him. Why the big song and dance about him proposing to you again and getting you a ring and this and this other wedding and blah blah. You are not thinking, oh my God, I'm fucked.
Yeah, because he has now taken 200k. That friend could have
and we are legally bound to each other.
Because now going back to all spare, he could take half. What?
You could take half.
He could take half.
You're liable for whatever.
Or he's scamming.
You don't. Yeah.
Yeah.
If they can't get the money from him,
they come to you. And the problem is you don't even know. As we were saying, if my dear friend Mani's man ever came to me and said, "Ring, ring, ring, Shoshana, can I borrow money?"
Shoshana, hey, it's me.
Hey, what's going on?
So where's
Money?
She's at work.
Okay.
It's okay, relax. It's not an emergency. I'm still speaking.
And you want to go ask me for money? Are you mad? Mad? No, sorry, I don't speak to my friend's mans without my friend being.
It's not weird. It's not weird.
Okay.
I'm at Selfridges, and I want to buy Marnie a Paul's boutique bag. So I couldn't think of a Prada. I'm trying to buy her Prada bag.
Oh, okay.
There's like 3 here.
Okay.
I don't know which one to pick. Okay. I'm going to send you some pictures. Let me know what you think.
Okay. Ping it over. I mean, Prada's not really her style, but like, yeah, let's see.
I mean, she was talking about the bag when we were in here last time, so I just thought.
Ping over, yeah.
Great. So once you let me know which colour you think is good.
Yeah.
As you know, I'm actually from a different country. I'm from a different country.
Okay.
And my bank account is in a different country. I'm from the Bahamas. Okay, so my bank account's in the Bahamas. The bag is 5k.
Okay.
So if you could send me 5k, I will absolutely just immediately pay you back. But I just don't have it right now because it's much harder to transfer it in the shop. So if you give me the 5k, I'll buy her the bag. And then, are you still there?
The silence.
Hello?
Well, okay. I mean, I know it's so lovely you want to buy her a gift.
Yeah, just let me know what colour.
Wait. But you can probably arrange with the store to get the money from the Bahamian bank account.
I mean, I've been in here for like an hour now trying to...
Then have a conversation with them. But also, like,
and they just said
perfectly honest, like, if you can't get the gift now, look, the gift is not, that bag is not going to leave. What I'll do, I can happily advise you on the colour, but money-wise, I'm sure you'll be able to sort it out because as you said, you've got the money in the Bahamas. You are royalty and also...
Well, I don't think we need to start getting into the royalty stuff because that was a secret. So now I'm going to have to go and stack money when I get home. Why
is that a secret? Because if you are royalty...
Because I'm a bastard child.
I'm very sorry to hear that.
My father is Prince Charles. Well, we don't like to talk about it. I wish you
all the best. Look, I'm more than happy for you to advise on the colour.
King Charles, actually. Sorry.
Yeah.
God.
I'm more than happy to advise on
But because I'm black, they wouldn't let me. Because I'm black, they wouldn't let me.
Look, we've all been there, son. We've all been there. But what I will say is maybe figure out another way. I'm sure there's some banks like Revolut that are able to transfer.
Oh, okay, bye.
You see? I'm sorry. Once you've learned,
I think you're so right.
And also, wait, sorry. Course finish. Ring, 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 ring. Hey, Marnie, how are you?
Hey, girl.
I just want to let you know that your man just rang. Nothing bad. I mean, he wants to get you a gift. I'm not going to go into too much detail. Ooh. But he did ask me for some money to transfer between his Bahamian account and for me to pay. But he needs to pay for the gift on his behalf. So
You're from East London. What's this about Bahamas?
I think maybe you need to have a conversation with him, but I'll leave that with you.
No, call the police.
Girl, he's not my man.
No, he tried to fraud you, so you called the police.
Oh yeah, I definitely will, but I want to make sure that I've got your co-sign before I do that.
That man has not lived in my house for 15 years. I do not know why he's still calling people talking about, I'm going to buy her Prada bag.
As I said.
No, I was just so embarrassed if you called me and you said, my man has tried to collect money from you.
Yeah.
The way his stuff will be packed in the street when he came home. Because, are you crazy?
What the heck?
Going to my real boys. This is my boy. This is my boy since I was 11.
Yeah.
And you're going to my boy to beg for money.
The worst thing is that you can't...
That you're not going to... What Bahamas account?
Yeah.
I know you have a gambling problem.
Rubbish.
And the thing about the story that is the gag, and as I listened to it, I was thinking about Shoshana and my friends and how they would never give my man money, especially if I wasn't part.
Yeah.
Like, maybe it'd be different. It was like, oh, we're starting a business. Do you want to become an investor?
Yeah.
That's really, really different
Yeah.
to my man's coming to you. Don't tell money.
Yeah, that doesn't exist.
And also to buy Ferrari, to buy Prada bag. Not, oh, I'm in a bit of a tight situation.
Exactly.
I need to pay for something. I don't want to bother her because she's already helped me so much. That would be different.
Yeah.
He said, I want to buy Ferrari for money.
Wild.
Give me money to buy Ferrari for money. And nobody said no.
But when you gave the money and the Ferrari did not arrive.
Texting me all the time, just be like, oh, have you got any new surprises? Or
Anything in the garage?
No, I'm still getting the bus. What's going on? Oh, nothing, don't worry about it. Meanwhile, you're at home stewing. You're stewing because you gave someone money to buy Ferrari for another person.
I'm sorry, everyone in the story has money. Money. To be just dishing out 40k here, 200k here, 30k here, 5k here, 6k here.
For a Ferrari. I'm just trying, please, just if an adult called me and asked me for money for a frivolous purchase, I would hang up the phone.
Yeah, of course. But I would think it's a joke.
I would, are you being serious? I don't even have a Ferrari.
Oh yeah, how could he have seriously had that conversation? Like, okay, hey, I can't do a Danish accent. I'm not going to bother.
Yeah, no, just do a normal accent.
Hey.
Hello.
So I just want to, we love you so much. You're a family.
Yeah. I don't know why I sound true. Just keep doing it. I think you should commit to it.
But I want to bless Onyeka as you have been a blessing to us.
Oh.
So we want to get her a Ferrari.
Who's we? I'm just curious because you said we. Who's we?
You are such a blessing to us.
Oh no!
Please bless us with the Ferrari.
Oh. Oh dear. Oh dear. As you know, and I think it only works because these people have money. Because I'd be like, have you seen me drive Ferrari? To be letting giving you money to buy a white Ferrari.
Yeah, maybe they have Ferraris and like, oh well, look, you talked about the deal you got with your Ferrari. Can you give us that same deal with another Ferrari in red for?
What do I look like for a Ferrari dealership? What the fuck are you talking about? I'll see you with your Ferrari. Can you get me a Ferrari? But this is exactly what happened. Yeah. The gambling doesn't stop, first of all.
Does the gambling exist or is it just fraud?
It's not fraud. He asked for money and they gave him money. That's what I'm saying. It's not fraud. You gave me money willingly to buy a gift for my wife. I spent it on... Because she went through his records and saw him gamble. She was like, he would gamble on the most random games. Yeah. This man has a problem. Yeah. He also is 100% probably using that money to take you out, which is crazy. You're giving me money, your family's giving me money.
But so I'm still taking you out.
Taking you out places. Anyway, she finds out, and the maddest ending to the story right now, because I haven't completely finished it, is that he breaks up with her.
Yeah. He breaks up with her.
He breaks up with her after rinsing her friends, family, neighbor, churchgoers. Anyone who's ever been in contact with Onyeka has been inundated with requests from her man. And every single one of them gave him the money. She literally did a round robin. I'm sure crying and vomiting because every single person was like, I gave him 5K. I gave him 10. I gave
also,
him
why did no one ever say, hey, Onyeka,
it's a surprise for Onyeka. It's a surprise for Onyeka.
Oh.
And that's what I'm saying. This is the thing. When she called him a narcissist, I was like, this is narcissistic behavior. But to some extent, you guys are dumb.
No, of course.
Who the fuck gives someone money to buy a Ferrari who doesn't have money to buy a Ferrari? And then you want to claim, it was fraud. No. I get it. You're upset because you lent money, you never got the money back. That's fair.
Yeah.
But the reason why you lent them the money was dumb in the first place.
True. Unfortunately, it's not fraud.
Yeah, it's not. It sucks, but it's not.
Yeah, but she's like, I want to take it to the police and the authorities.
Someone is suing him, though.
Oh, is it?
Because there was one guy who he basically said, we're doing a business deal. So contracts and things were signed.
Okay, so he can...
And then he took 30K and never paid it back. So that guy had served him.
Yeah, I think she has every right to sue him, but I think it's going to be a very hard case. Anyway.
Be a very hard case. I don't know. She wants to get I don't know what she wants, if I'm
Yeah.
being honest.
No.
Because you're right. The story just gave low-key, I wish my marriage had worked out.
Yeah. Had her marriage worked out, we would have never heard of this.
She would have stayed with him while he was still gambling.
Yeah, true.
Actually, because he would, when he was leaving, she was like, I'm not going to, she took his passport. She's not going. We can work through this. We can work for anything. I love it.
She didn't want the shame, but he really shamed you.
I don't think it was shame. I think she madly
was in love with him.
Was in love with him.
Yeah.
Because at this point, it hadn't even come out the way that he had scammed everyone in her family. You really wanted your fairy tale, your rom-com. You wanted to get the guy. You wanted to have this life. Like, within 6 months, you're talking about, this is the guy I want to spend the rest of my life with, have babies with. You don't know him.
And I just think the discernment was low. The girl, we needed more discernment. You needed to speak to your girlfriends, but the problem, we're saying this, you tell your girlfriends this, and they will tell you, girl, this does not sound right, and you would not listen to them.
No.
Unfortunately.
No. And it also gave her friends don't really be doing investigations. And I think there are probably people whose friends are not natural investigators. No. Me personally, if I hear something off, it will stick in my head until I unravel it.
Yeah. I will dig.
When we met our friend's man, the time that we met him.
Yeah.
The stuff that he was saying, I said, this don't make no sense. I went home, I checked LinkedIn. I said, I don't believe for a second that this man...
Mathing.
Yeah, something is not making sense to me.
And that was in a 2-hour conversation.
Yeah.
And a lot of the things that we deciphered, it came to light.
And I think, not unlike this dude, he was a liar.
Yeah.
Lots of people are liars. I don't think they're necessarily narcissists, but there are lots of people that will look you dead in your eye and tell you something completely made up. This guy was telling us every single thing that one of us had to say, he had experienced it as well.
Yeah. And
everyone. You could tell, I went to a girls' school. Yeah, I was also...
Huh? What?
Why?
What's going on?
So,
it's wild.
While I feel for her, the story actually I found quite tiresome.
Yeah.
It didn't grip me like
Risa Tisa did. There was magic in her storytelling.
There was, and I also just think you didn't know where the story was going. Yeah. Whereas this, by the time she said... the building burnt down. And this is now, I think this is even part 5. I said,
The minute she said, I offered to give him money, I said, I know where this is going. That was it. It was like,
when she said, the twist is, he wasn't my fiancé, I married him. I said, you're a clown.
You're a clown.
You're a clown.
You were deceived. No, sorry. You deceived yourself by a Danish person. That is a Danish deception.
That is a Danish deception. You said, I never heard of no bad Danish people.
Yeah.
So they must be good.
And I think the problem is why she's getting dragged, while Risa Tisa probably was like more celebrated. And one, Risa Tisa is an incredible storyteller. Second of all, Risa Tisa done her investigations and I took accountability.
Yeah.
She said, these are the things I could have done better. These are the things I did wrong. And I did the work to find out every single lie this guy had been saying. And therefore, when I kicked him out of my house, I knew, and she moved out, didn't she?
Yeah.
I knew that I was right. This girl, she doesn't know that she's right. Because basically, had he not left, she would have stayed with him.
Had he not left, she would have stayed with him.
And he would have bankrupt her to kingdom come.
Had his friend not said about the gambling, she would have stayed with him, wondering why this guy's constantly in financial hardship when he is a athlete. Yeah. Do you know how much a gold medal even costs?
I don't know.
If things are really that bad, he could have pawned the medal.
Yeah. So
could have pawned them watches.
I'll be honest, it's like...
You could have asked his royalty dad, whose house you even went to, and you said, this is not a royal person's house, and you didn't think that was odd. But all the houses in Copenhagen are small.
Oh,
no, they're not.
No,
in Denmark. She said all the houses in Denmark are small.
We have been to Copenhagen. We definitely walked past one of those palaces. There is absolutely no way there are small houses in Denmark.
There's only small houses.
No, it's nonsense.
Then when they all came out, the ex-girlfriend was saying, he's a thief.
And a liar.
The older sister was like, he's a thief.
And a liar.
And she's like, I was just so mad that they didn't tell me. Is it their job to tell you that your man's a thief? Or is it your job to figure out that your man who keeps asking for money and hasn't paid you back might be a thief?
And also, let's be honest, they could have told you and he would be like, well, they always hated me. And then you'd be like, yes.
100%.
Yeah, so I'll be honest, it's really hard because like we have definitely been in situations where you tell someone like, this is not
They don't want to hear it.
And they don't want to hear it. They need to experience it face front to them. Oh, I understand now. I've seen it in 4K. then I understand and I get it.
And sometimes, I've definitely been in a situation where someone has told me something wacky, but the way they told me in the moment, I was like, that makes sense. And then, like, you spend like an hour by yourself, you're like, but if...
No.
Now, hold on a second.
No.
And I don't think she ever had the space to do that because from the minute she met him, she had fallen in love.
Yeah.
It was love at first sight. She said, I want my Calvin Klein model husband.
And look where you got. The thing is, it's always taught me that, like, you don't always have to go on the internet for everything. Because I don't think...
I agree.
I don't think this story is like the cautionary tale that she thinks it is going to be for the girlies.
I think it's interesting because it's bringing... I think what it has that maybe the Risa Teesa story doesn't have is that, like, there's a cautionary tale for us from you. Actually, you're the cautionary tale. Like this whole you jumped head first into this,
true.
but you haven't got the foresight to be able to unpack that.
Yeah.
Like, why were you so desperate for this to work out? Why did you jump so? She said something at the beginning which I wrote down as well, where she was like, "I'm not the kind of person to do PDAs." But as soon as I saw him at the airport, just like 3 miles away, and I'm like, well, you are the sort of person to do that then, aren't you?
Yeah,
you just hadn't done it before.
Or you hadn't met someone you felt comfortable to do that with.
Yeah,
but
the idea of being like, listen, I'm not the kind of... Like, you're trying to mitigate things that are clearly... Like, you did do that, though.
I'm
so
not
that
a pick-me, but I'm actually a pick-me.
Yeah, exactly.
And some of that may come up a bit
and
later.
that's the work that... Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's the work that kind of needs to be done, because there was a reason why, despite you finding out that he had lied to you about the gambling, that he had lied to you about why he took the money from you, that he had no intention, he had no way really of paying it back until you got on your Zoom and figured out a plan. You went to the person that he owed 200k from and worked out a payment plan for him.
Yeah, see,
and you still were insistent on, we're going to have a white wedding and a traditional wedding.
Sit down. See, that's, again, it's just the delusion of it all. I don't know.
Where's the limit? I feel like that's the thing. There was no limit for her. There was no limit, and that is something that she needs to go away and think, like, why was there no point where I was like, I'm ready to get out of this? If he hadn't scammed her family and had just been stealing from her forever, I think should have been okay with that.
Because it was once it got out publicly, that was embarrassing. It's the shame.
Yeah.
And the shame is what caught her. Yeah. So anyway, like, that was the Danish deception.
That was the Danish deception. That was all's fair.
That was all's fair. I think it's fair to say that the girls out here, when it comes to money and love, there is a very, very, very tight struggle. What are we going to do next time?
You'll find out next time.
You will find out next time. So, thanks for listening to our commentary. And this has been Scripts and Giggles with Shoshana
and Money.
Thanks, guys.
Bye. And if I call you just because I need a really quick loan, what you have to understand is it's Shoshana's birthday. And for the next pod, I really want to gift her a gold-encrusted microphone. So if you guys could just find a way to open your hearts, open your pockets, and donate to your boy Mani, I would really appreciate that. You will get the money back at some point.
Oh, yes, beep. Silence. Hello?
Hello?
Hello? Hello?